Hello everyone, welcome to Sai Generation. Today we will discuss about the everyday glossary session of Ciccarelli. Yes, we are discussing the glossary session of Ciccarelli. This is the fifth video of this series, the everyday glossary session of Ciccarelli. So let's get started. First, continuity. What is the continuity? Continuity basically categorized under the perception. So, what is the continuity? Continuity is the tendency. It is the tendency to perceive things as simple as possible with the continuous pattern. It means person is perceiving something as a continuous pattern rather than with a complex or broken pattern. For example, when you see some small dots which is very near from one dot to another dot, so it is your tendency to perceive all dots equally. It is your tendency to perceive all dots in a continuous pattern. You don't perceive first one dot, after second dot, after third dot. So this is the meaning of continuity. It is the tendency to perceive things as simple as possible with the continuous pattern. Second is continuous reinforcement. So what is the continuous reinforcement? So continuous reinforcement is the reinforcement of each and every correct response. It means when a stimulus is doing something correct, when a subject is doing something correct, then all on the every correct task he will be given reinforcement. So this is called the continuous reinforcement. Third is control group. Basically, control group is the group which is used in the experiment. So, in the control group, subjects is in an experiment who are not subjected to the independent variable. The subject who are not subjected to the independent, it means IV. So, and who may not receive placebo effect. They don't receive any placebo effect, and they don't receive any placebo effect, and researcher don't manipulate in it. So this is called the independent variable. Fourth is conventional morality, second level of Kohlberg's stage of moral development. So we are talking about the Kohlberg's moral developmental stage. So this is the conventional morality, which is the second stage of moral development of Kohlberg theory, in which the child's behavior is governed. The child behavior is governed by the conforming to the society's norm of behavior. It means child is behaving according to the norms of society. He is showing his conformatory behavior. So next is first convergence. So what is the convergence? Convergence is categorized under the perception. Basically, it is the monocular cues. Monocular cues means when a person is perceived any object with their two eyes. Monocular cues means person is perceiving any object with only one eye. But binocular cues means when a person is perceiving any object with two eyes. So what is the convergence? The convergence is the rotation. The convergence is the rotation of two eyes in their socket to focus on a single object. Always remember to focus on a single object, resulting in a greater convergence for closer object and lesser convergence if objects are distant. Greater convergence means eyes are totally inside the nose. So it is greater convergence, but when object is distant, so eyes are moving outside the end. So this is called a distant object. So greater convergence means when eyes are rotating under the nose side, when it is called greater convergence. When eyes are moving to outside the eyes, it means in the end of the eyes, it is called the lesser convergence. Second is convergent thinking. There are two types of thinking. First is divergent thinking and second is convergent thinking. So what is the convergent thinking? Types of thinking in which problem is seen as having only one answer. Types of thinking when a person thinks only one answer is available, and all lines of thinking will eventually lead to that only single answer. When a person think that maybe I can solve in this way, maybe I can solve in this way, maybe I can solve in this way, but what is the end? What he get the answer? He get no, only one answer is possible. It means will eventually lead to that only single answer. So using previous knowledge and logic, he used their previous knowledge and logic, he applied their previous knowledge and logic, and what he get answer? He get only one answer. It means only one answer is available. Third is coping strategies, that actions that people can take to master, tolerate and reduce or minimize to effect of stressors. There are many different type of stressors. It depends which kind of things you perceive as a stressors. So when a person want to cope, when a person reduce or minimize the effect of stressors, so it is called the coping strategies. Fourth is corpus callosum. So what is the corpus callosum? Thick band of neurons. Thick band of neurons that connects the right and left cerebral hemisphere. Thick band of neurons that connects the right and left cerebral hemisphere. That is called corpus callosum. Correlation. What is a correlation? A measure of relationship between two variables. Correlation basically used in a research. It is a measure of a relationship between two variables. Through the correlation, person measures any relationship between two variables. Correlation coefficient, a number derived from formula for measuring a correlation and indicating the strength and direction of a correlation. Correlation coefficient basically told that what is the direction of a correlation. It tell what is the direction between two variables, either it is positive or negative. Third is cortex. So what is the cortex? Outermost covering of the brain consisting of densely packed neurons responsible for higher thought process. Who is responsible for higher thought process? Cortex is responsible for higher thought process, interpretation of sensory output, and it is also involved in the interpretation of sensory output. Fourth is creative intelligence. So creative intelligence is one of the part of Sternberg theory of intelligence. He said there are three types of intelligence. First is contextual, second is experimental, and third is componental. So second is experimental intelligence is also called a creative intelligence. So what is the creative intelligence? The ability to deal with new and different concepts. The ability to deal with new and different concepts and come up with new ways of solving problem. Basically, it is the ability to deal with new and different concepts and come up with new ways of solving problems. Next is critical period. What is the critical period? Basically, critical period is proposed by Isaac. He said about the critical period. So what is the critical period? Time during which a certain environment and influences can have an impact of the development of the infective. So this is called development of the infant. So this is called the critical period. What is the critical thinking? Critical thinking is making reasoned judgments about the claims. So critical thinking means critically or rationally thinking. So it is the making respond judgment about the claims. Third is cross-sectional design. So there are many types of designs. So what is the cross-sectional design? Research design in which several different participants age groups are studied at one particular point of time when many groups are available, but all age groups are It means, for example, you have one age group like 12 to 13. A group of age is 12 to 13. Another group you have which and the age is 16 to 19. It means you can measure all different age group in a one time. That is called cross sectional design. Fourth is cross sequential design. So what is cross sequential design? Research design in which participants are first studied. Research design in which participants are first studied by a cross-sectional design but are also followed by assessed longitudinally. So this is the cross-sequential design. So what is the clut? Basically, clut is any group of people with a particular religious and philosophical set of beliefs and identity. Any group of people with a particular religious and philosophical set of a belief and identity is called clut. So what is the culture relativity? This question is asked in the next, so don't forget about it. The need to consider the unique characteristics of the culture in which behavior takes places. The unique characteristics of a culture in which behavior takes places. Third is culture bound syndrome. Culture bound syndrome, which means a disorder found only in one particular culture. Curve of forgetting. Curve of forgetting basically proposed by Ebbinghaus. So what Ebbinghaus said, a graph showing a distinct pattern in which forgetting is very fast within 1 hour. Forgetting is very fast within 1 hour. After learning the list, or you can say after learning the set, and then tapers off gradually. So what is the example? Example means when a subject is learning any list, so forgetting is very fast within 1 hour, but after 3, 4, 7, 8 or 24 hours, the forgetting is less as comparison to first hour. So what is the cyber therapy? So cyber therapy is a psychotherapy that is offered in the internet and also called online internet or web therapy or counseling. So that is called the cyber therapy. I hope you like this video. So don't forget to comment and share this video too. I will also think then you will comment and like this video. Thank you.